All right, welcome back, everybody, to DreamHack Open 2014. It's DreamHack Winter, and again, this is the finals of the year. The groups are a little bit different, and they're a little bit weird, and we'll walk you guys through them after we get out of this game. But for now, spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map from Startale, I give you the red Zerg player Life.
Neighbor writes, as the blue Protoss, you a flash wolf sun.
Okay, I've got it in my head. San is just like this scary son of a gun. Like, it doesn't matter who he plays, where he plays, what the tournament is. Like, he always comes out with full force, and if he's gonna all in, yeah, like, he's gonna do it hard. If he's gonna play the macro game, you're damn sure not gonna beat him with some sort of early roach aggression. I mean, I want to say like again, Life statistically, I think maybe outweighs San only barely, but like, San comes to this series, and for me, he's the scarier guy when it comes to aggression. You know, through the Acer Team Story Cups over time, through pretty much every tournament he's ever been in, like, San comes in and he shows a lot of force. The problem is, I feel like San is another one of these players who, like, when he's on fire, he's, like, really on fire. But then when he's not, he's just like, okay, you're good, you're average good Protoss, you know?
What? Tell me if I'm wrong, but did they play at BlizzCon? Wasn't it San?
Oh, did they actually? Maybe that's... Oh, that's what I was thinking of, okay. So the round of the round of 8 there, I remember that too, because that was one of the matches I missed because I was panicking about my wallet.
Yeah, that's when we talked to Scarlett though, and she was like, "Why is it a surprise? San does the same thing every game."
Yeah.
But Life did 3-0 him, right? We weren't actually there, of course, so
yeah, that was when I was
a little fuzzy,
panicking for my wallet. But yeah, okay, so you're right. Like, that is kind of this thing about San though, right? Like, if he's gonna go blink stalkers, he'll go blink stalkers. We'll see that again and again and again. Kind of like almost the Korean version of Happy in that regard. Like, his play style is not super dynamic. We don't see him doing crazy proxy dark shrines anytime soon. PvZ, I mean, somewhat predictable. And I guess Life, knowing this, just he goes for that triple hatchery opener here. Like, this is, he's gonna get away with it, but it's just such a bold thing to do in the first game, the first series.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But he did. It was a risk worth taking, as he's going to get away with it. Really, like, San, I feel like the only way to really punish this is just to, like, go for, like, that super fast 4-gate. Otherwise, you know, you could all in later on, but usually the effects of a 3 hatch is already in effect by the time you get up, like, you know, 8 gateways or 6 or 7, whatever. So usually they just unfortunately get away with it. And yeah, San did go for the latest Nexus that he could have. Gateway, Cyber Explorer, then Nexus.
We'll just, again, go back to, like, statistically speaking, like, Life's got the better end of this deal, but again, San's never a guy you ever want to count out, ever. But first sell it, bit of poke.
I really want to see how this game plays out. It's already playing out to tell me that Life kind of has, like, a number. Well, I just lost a drone right there, so maybe not. But if this first game goes, like, totally in favor of Life, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I think it's gonna 2-0. So I'm really hoping that San, like you say, he's gonna really show what he's got, not just, well, be rolled over.
Starts up the wall back at home, not gonna get caught off guard by these links, not too heavily at least. Hopefully. As he's cranking out that sentry, but it's gotta head towards the front, not towards the back.
Is this what he did? Like, I really wish I'd watched those games, right? So I could be like, oh, he does exactly this, then Life is exactly that. But I feel like there were a lot of 4 gates involved, and being shut down by Life. But Life does see this coming. He doesn't know about the 4th gateway. He sees it 2 in front, of course, but that's natural. You need a wall off anyways. Did you see the pylon? He did. As soon as he knows an attack is coming.
I guess the question is gauging the strength of the attack, though. I mean, you see 2 gateways in the wall off. You know it's bare minimum 3. If it's 4, of course, it's a little bit scarier. I like that Life's not really going too heavy here on the drones. In fact, investing in more queens. But still, this is a situation right now where he's so on the fence about whether he can get away with droning or not.
He's just making queens. This is interesting. Droning a little tiny bits. There are the links. There they are. He's gonna have 2, maybe 3 queens. He brings one at the 3rd to help him out as well.
Needs about 1 more tumor to fully connect this too. I mean, even just that small amount of time off creep is so painful. But the Mothership Core get down pretty quick. You know, between the Broodlord getting sniped earlier and the Queens now, like, I'm convinced that Queens are a good unit.
It's no longer Life Lings, it's Life Queens.
Well, I don't know for life. I'm just speaking quite generally here, but yeah, it's gonna be really hard to take the place of Lings here when it comes to life's units he's known best for. But not a whole lot of force fields for this force. I really don't think this is gonna get a lot done. In fact, he might just be better recalling this out, but as he gets off creep, it becomes less scary.
The power of a 4-gate is usually very fast and pretty strong. You know, suddenly there was like, 6 zealots against 20 lings, and we'll buy lings. But this has just been like kind of awkward. So I'm like looking obviously for a place where the queens aren't, but now that the creep is connected, they will always be around. And the 6 queens shouldn't be that scary, but with transfuses and actually queens in general are kind of scary.
Yeah. Now he doesn't have to recall, but that's kind of the benefit of being on the side of the field. Like he can hang out longer than he needs to because, all right, maybe it's a little bit hairy. He loses a stalker, a zealot or two, but I am really worried about that. The queen's actually sniping the mothership core. It's already less than half health. The shields will go down very quickly. Yeah. It's one of those situations where like, if he recalls, it has to be immediately. There can't be any hesitation about it at all.
Okay. So Solid is going to go 4-gate into 2-base Immortal, and not at all surprising and not uncommon, especially on this map. Like, whoop-de-doo. And I gotta imagine Life's expecting it as well. It took a long time for him to Roach Warren. I was even wondering if he was going to go to Roach Warren, but of course without Ling speed, I guess that's the only valid option. Just come down pretty damn late, though. Oh, and the Motion Core was killed.
No time warps, no recall. This actually becomes about 1,000,000 times scarier. You've got no plan B for this army. So while the pylon might be here, there's not a lot to actually support.
Oh. Yeah.
That just took away like all the wind from his presence on the side of the field.
Life is going to be up to almost 70 drones. I mean, usually against like a 2-base Immortal all-in, it's scary to get to like 55. Oh, it's not even all-in, okay. So the 2 gateways were the only ones going down. Just expect him to throw down more. My mistake. He does have 2 mortals though. And he's really going to be just defensive, or is this a fake? What, 2, 4? No, wait. I miscounted again. 2, 4. Okay.
He stopped probing a long time ago.
Yeah, so
no
it's 6.
That's a third. Like
yeah,
regardless
so
of like the gateway count, at this point you're like, okay, you're 44 probes. You've had nothing like kill any. You're kind of only going one direction.
Yeah, so it is a 2-base Immortal all in, and now Life knows for sure. He did have a Ling over there scouting to see if a third did go down, but it's definite. War Prism's not going to be here, so he's relying on pylons.
He gets very close to the front lines almost. Oh, don't know if you noticed that it got blocked out by the creep. There we go, rectifies that quickly. A couple force fields come down here, going to choke this out. He's just going to go for the hatchery snipe. Actually, this might be. I would almost argue like go for the Hydra stand first. I think he would have had the time for it, but. It's a hard call to make because you don't know what's coming out of those eggs. You don't know when it's coming either.
Yeah, there's a lot of sentries in this Sentry Immortal, and we're bringing in 3 more, but as opposed to having 9 with a lot of energy, he had 4 with some energy. So he wouldn't have enough force fields to get the hatchery and the Hydra Stem, it looked like.
Of course, if you can catch units with force fields, that's always the best case scenario, but forced to disengage out of this. Killing the hatchery is nice, but it's not going to kill Life. I mean, he's still making Hydras. He had banked up a lot of money from that. He pulled the drones out, for goodness sake. I mean, there really wasn't a lot of damage done with that attack.
Yeah. We do have a War Prism off to the left, as opposed to just trying to end the game with a frontal assault, using that War Prism for micro and reinforcement points. He's going to try and harass in the main. It is 4 zealots, so no sentry force field shenanigans. But he'll have to test Life's splitting ability, like how many Hydras you sent back up there.
Okay, 3rd base under attack once again. He's going to get the cancel off, just barely, Life that is, but still, the Hydra's Den goes untouched. You gotta imagine, like, this is the one unit that he's producing that's gonna beat your gateway units. Like, why not cut out that production?
He's almost all out of force fields. This is really dangerous. Militia Corps did just run away for some reason. Don't leave your army behind.
I can't understand why he didn't want to get it sniped off, but he's going to have to recall, I feel. Like, he could force field off the ramp maybe, but this attack is done. Dropping the main did not do too much. There's still Hydra sitting here, so there's no round 2 available. Like, even if he drops these zealots, they're just going to die.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't. But the only other choice is, of course, to go for, like, a 3rd base. He did not throw down. I didn't throw down a Twilight Council. We didn't throw a Robo. So, following up into a 2-base Colossus all in.
Yeah, War Prism gets sniped off before anything gets unloaded. I mean, I guess the Colossus are great. If he gets the extended thermal lens, especially, that's how he combats the Hydralisks. But with the Spire on the way, rather than going for Hive Tech and getting Vipers out, we have the option for Corruptors instead, which are not terrible. I just don't love that they don't do a lot after they kill the Colossus, right? They just gotta float there and take up supply.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the most recent games that we've been seeing, like that 2-base Immortal and that lasted forever on a Foxtrot. I have more faith in a Blink Stalker follow-up all-in than I do in a Colossus all-in, but...
Yeah, well, I think that's... I agree, but that's such a hard... Sorry, you don't get to just make a ton of Stalkers. Like, you know, prior to that, in the Hydras or the Roaches, they're pressuring your third, or maybe you're not doing this or the other, but... San has played this in a very old-school style, you know. The Immortal Sentries leading the Stalkers and the Colossus here. Go work out quite nicely. He just segments off that army. He doesn't even try and fight that. He's pushing back the natural base. Of course, Time Warp's coming down. He's going to put a couple more force fields if he wants to lock this from behind. But the Corruptor's going to take out these Colossus, no question about it. The question is going to be, can these Stalkers do this? There's no blink. There's no plus weapon upgrades. I mean, this is pretty all-in at Assad. If Life can break this, and I think he's got the tools for it, I think he's going to take this game.
Yeah, he did lose a lot of drones on Process, but I think we're going to see just San's supply dip as his army, is not, you know, it's not equipped to deal with Hydras and Queens, by the way. Not a whole lot of transfuse going down. I think Life thinks he's going to win without him.
You know, the Queens are almost acting like roaches in this, where they're just like that extension of the Hydralisk's health. Like, they can take the hits, the Hydras can't, but... You know, San's beaten back to 2 bases. There's no tech behind this. Life has got a massive army supply lead. He's got a massive overall supply lead.
That was so close. A lot of drones.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he did, but the army's still like pretty. I don't want to say unbeatable, but I kind of also want to say unbeatable for Life. But like San was so close to hitting a timing where Life did not have the Corruptors. You know, even like 10, 20 seconds where Corruptors aren't out is like a lot of damage done to Hydralisk. You know, with 2 Colossus, but Life with the perfect timing. GG.
All right, Life's going to take game number 1.